Good afternoon, guys. It's another rainy day here in Florida, so I will be making an apple upside down cake. Hope you enjoy it. Hey guys, so I'm ready to get started. I have all my ingredients out. I will change the camera view to show you what I have. So here are the ingredients. You can see I have the cinnamon, the flour, the sugar, I have the raisins, the baking powder, my water, and I have the butter, the lime, the eggs, my apples, and I also have my bowls that I'm going to be using. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the zest from one lime and set it aside. Then I'm going to peel my 4 apples, 3 I'm going to cube, and 1 I'm going to slice thinly, like a 1/4 inch. And I'm going to put all that in water, and I will use the lime itself to put in the water so that my apples don't oxidize. I try to use as much of the zest as possible. So I go all around and I do this carefully, not to get my fingers caught in the process, because that can be very, very, very painful. So I'm taking my apples, and I want 4 apples. This is my last apple, and I'm basically cutting it into thin slices. So I cut it in half, I took the core out, and then I cut it in half again, so that's a quarter, and then that quarter I cut into thin slices. And guys, don't worry if your apples have some blemishes on them. I'm gonna mix the dry ingredients, basically the flour, the cinnamon, and the baking powder in a bowl, and set them aside. And then I will start with my wet ingredients, which are the butter, the eggs, and the sugar. So I'm gonna mix those in another bowl and add the lemon zest, and then I'll mix the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients to incorporate it all together. So basically I'll just mix the dry ingredients together and blend them in and set them aside now, like I said. Just mix it all in until it's very well incorporated. I've separated the apple slices from the diced apples. I finished incorporating the butter and the eggs. Now I added the raisins, and to this I am going to add the diced apples. The mix looks very, very chunky, but don't worry. The whole idea is that this tart, or this cake, is full of fruits. So the caramel is almost ready. I want it to be a little bit darker amber, and then we put it on the bottom of our mold, and then we arrange the apples in a concentric form. As you can see, the batter is very, very chunky, so what I am doing is trying to spread it out as evenly as possible. This is going to bake down and it's going to give off a lot of water. It is also very important to remind you that for this recipe to be successful, especially when you take it out of the mold, you have to bake it in a spring pan. If you don't have a spring pan, it's going to be very, very hard to take out.